Hey everybody, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. Yeah, I'm in my Sunday best today because I'm going to go to church for Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, by the way. But I got thinking a little bit about this story that I heard where I don't know if it was a study. That's how it was presented. So maybe it was a study. And that was basically there's two different classes. They're learning how to make pots in a pottery class, and one class was told to make their very best pot, and it could take them as long as it possibly needed, but they had to make the best pot, and it was just going to take the whole semester to do that. The second class was told to pump out as many pots as they could, and at the end they would be graded, and their best pot would be, essentially put up against the best pot from the other class that only made one. They spent all that time making the one pot. Which class do you think won? Well, it was class number two, the class that made a lot of pots. And that's simply because all of the practice of doing doing work and doing bad work in some cases and doing decent work and figuring out how to improve and just going through the motions, start to finish of making a pot. It was actually that's where they learned the most, and that's how they became more proficient at making pots, right? So how does that have anything to do with comics? Well, it might be pretty apparent. Obviously, making comics is going to make you better at making comics. That's it. And so the weird thing is that you'd think, well, I want my best chance of success, commercial success, of making money doing comics, and so I just want to, only spend time doing this great idea that's going to not only do well in comics but also become, get picked up by Netflix or something like that. But the reality is that even those books that, no one goes into making a comic book thinking it's going to be terrible, but you start out because you believe in the idea, you want to do it, you kind of go through those motions, maybe you take some risks, so on and so on. And when you put the book out, people are going to like it or they're not going to like it, but you've still gained that experience of making a comic book. Um, and the reality is it takes a lot of those tries, I think, to figure out and learn what works the best, and hopefully, collectively, those of us that are making comic books over the course of time, you're going to see uh, you're going to see certain titles that just rise to the top and are, really well received. They do well, and that's just because of the quantity of stuff that you're putting out, and obviously quality. But you don't get to the quality without some quantity, without getting those reps in. Anyway, for whoever needed to hear it, keep making comics. I wouldn't worry too much about what people are going to think about it. Obviously, you do your best. You try to make something that's cool and interesting. But at the end of the day, if you're making comics, you're gonna get to the good stuff. It's just true. That's how it works. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Happy Easter, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.